Thank God it's Friday. 9 minutes till Friday. This will be a short Midnight Express because I've decided I was talking to Brad backstage about whether I want
it was it was Madam Web related, guys.
Yeah, it was Madam Web related. Friday's gonna be a good show because, to be honest with you, not the worst movie in the world. I mean, you're gonna hear a lot of people say, "Oh my God, it's the worst thing." Like, what have I always said about people on the internet? I'll even include myself in that number if you want to be defensive. We're full of shit for the most part.
Was it? You have seen it?
Yeah. Was it great? Oh no.
Yeah, I saw it myself tonight too, and yeah, I would fall in that category too, where it's like it's definitely it's neither great nor it's not the the dumpster fire that it's being made out to be.
It was a movie in there that I know that they wanted to make, but for stupid reasons I will never fathom they didn't make. You felt yourself being pulled towards one movie. Instead, you got some replacement menu shit. I just felt that the whole time that there was another movie there.
I'm a little bit off. I'm a little bit different. Where it's like because I'm still kind of thinking it over, and
especially the last couple of scenes were like, okay.
Oh yeah, the last couple of scenes where it's like that's taking us to the movie we're talking about here. But
we should have been. Those last couple of scenes for me mean I thought there should have been a lot more done with this. But those last couple of scenes were like, okay, so what happened to the other? What?
Yeah.
But
I'm kind of. Well, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm giving you guys 48 hours notice, maybe 972 or whatever, however long it is from now at 9 p.m. Saturday. I'm going to address the question of the Sony situation of whether Sony just let Marvel and give it back. Fuck no. And Brad, right here, Brad is going to be moderating the chat.
Yeah, so I can time you guys out.
I'm not. No. I'm not. Do not bring up anything that has the syntax or the text in it that says Marvel. Sony should just give up in live action and let Marvel do it. I am part of the credibility I like to think that we have with this show between us and whoever we've had on this show, mainly myself and Brad, is that I pride myself on each other not wasting each other's time. That statement would be an absolute fucking waste of time. It is fantastical fanboy bullshit that is never going to happen for a multitude of reasons. And like I said, one of the guys who I will bring up on our show that I watch on a daily basis, John Campia, he brought up a couple of reasons why. I have a lot more why that should never happen. That should never happen.
He brought up why Sony should sell the
Marvel rights. Why they whether they should or not, and why they probably would never. And you basically, and one of his things where I'm going to expand on it is he gave a price that would cost him about $3 billion. $3 billion should be the action price. If I'm your shareholder at Sony, and you even whisper that number in a deal, it's the last thing you're going to do for Sony. I'm going to call a vote. And that vote, whenever you have a publicly held company, you can have a vote for mismanagement of assets. Spider-Man is an asset. Here's the thing. And his good point, it might not even be worth it for them to even pay that because they're already getting what they need out of Spider-Man via their deal. And you don't have a lot of Spider-Man necessarily left going forward with this iteration. You got maybe, 2 more movies of the Holland era, and then you probably end up.
And you got maybe one more each with Garfield and Maguire.
Yeah, but that's not them. So you would never get your fair market value for that IP. So that would be stupid. You would be devaluing the IP by doing something that and letting a little bit. 2, listen. In my professional career, whether it be military, anywhere else. Giving up is for losers. Giving up is for losers and spectators. People who can't figure out how to do anything, and the other people who just watch people do things and then they slap at keys at the internet. That's what giving up. Those are the kind of people who give up. And in any facet of life I've ever been to, I never ever take advice from people who have never taken risk. You can take a compliment, you can listen to it, you can hear it, but you should never take it seriously. So, in by virtue of the fact that these guys, there's only one head of Sony, one of each of those positions. There's a whole bunch of us under the internet slapping at keys. There's only a handful of them, one or two. So by virtue of that, they're winning a lot more than me. And when you have that position, you don't keep that position by being a pussy. Don't give up, get better. There is so much space for them to get better, even with this movie. There is so many steps that they could take if they wanted to. But by the way, it's an $80 million movie. I found out the budget, $80 million.
Yeah, I put that up.
They're gonna make their money back. You guys, you're going to laugh at them, and they're gonna laugh because Crave already had. This is one of the movies under the Crave deal. So is Craven, and that's just the first market. They've already sold it to the second market. Then they got $6 million that to go in. So by the time the money gets counted, not the fanboy counting, the actual money that gets counted, worst they're gonna do is break even. Now, I would like to see them be like, why you just want to break even? Why don't you just you have everything there? And like I said, I was gonna tip on it tonight, but yeah, it's one of those things that's going to take a one of the better format to actually go through, because I got names of people that are at their disposal that they could use for this, not just acting wise. There are way better people out there that can this screenplay wasn't good. Screenplay wasn't good. The acting was all right.
Well, like what you were saying earlier about, it's like again, the way this movie ends, it's basically it's like the opening to the.
Be careful, because I almost slipped up.
Yeah,
we'll do a spoiler review on Saturday along with all this, but
it kind of shows more what we think was the road they should have gone down for the whole thing, but because I'm still kind of getting my thoughts together on it, and it's part of me also thinks like this might have also been like better if they did this version, or if they did, the version we're saying, would better serves the character. It's like, I part of me also feels like it almost might have been better. It's like if Madame Web were compartmentalized, like her origin, like within like a Spider-Man movie.
They could have done that. One thing I will, because once again, and by the way, and one of the other things I want you not to bring up, Sony is not going to stop making live action movies. So once again, Brad, I'm telling you now on Friday, Thursday night, 11:58 p.m., don't bring that stuff up. Only bring up productive stuff that actually has a chance of happening. Them stopping making live action movies is not going to happen. So without spoiling Madame Web, I don't think this is the last you've seen of Madame Web. And although I think everything that they needed to do really should have been done in this movie, doesn't mean it can't be done at all. So I want to have a productive conversation on Saturday. But please leave the stupid shit at home.
Yeah, it's kind of like it like the ending is like it gives like 5% of like what we think like the ideal Madame Web origin movie would have been.
Yeah, I mean it's but like I said, the whole thing is fixable, but they gotta and they have access to the people. Like I said, the roadmap I'm gonna roll out. It's not even real, because it's like. Not even going out and getting, you have these people already. So we'll go into that on Saturday. I'll put that in the thumbnail. This thumbnail's I'm making it. I'm hoping this is one of my better thumbnails, because we got a lot to talk about on Saturday, and especially now with the new format. Not only are we going to bring this in, and like I said, to the people who are coming into the live portion of the show where we invite our listeners in. I am just putting it out there right now. It's one thing to ignore in the chat room the fantastical bullshit that is never going to happen. Sony's going to they're never giving that back to me. Like I said, in Marvel and Disney, it's not going to pay the fair market value. So that kills that. And there's no reason to. So, but once you guys get on the screen, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have some people on there that are going to try to make that case. I am going to be prepared to fucking destroy you guys in the friendliest way possible, and in the most affectionate way possible. Please do not bring that nonsense to the live portion of the show Saturday night, because, like I said, you're going to have to give me some really good reasons, and not the pulling it out on your ass and posting it on Twitter reasons. I'm talking about legit, how you run a business and how you improve on a business IP type of thing. That's what they're bringing. Anything short of that, it's going to be like Chappie defending Cloverfield. It's just not. The battle is lost before it begins. So
no, the battle is lost when or it's going to be lost when he tries to defend the scary movie. When we get to that watch
party.
There you
go. It's just as hopeless as that. Like I said, when it comes to these IPs, any of these IPs, it's okay to be fans. It's okay. I am one. But it is absolutely just boneheading it to try to apply that to the inner mechanics of what this is. And like I said, I think the dumbest question of the week is, Sony stop making Spider-Man like me? That's the dumbest question of the week. I should have that scrolling. And no. The answer is no. Before you even finish the silly question, the answer is no. All right. Don't give up. Get better. Drill Sergeant told me that first day at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I have applied that to everything. And guess what? That's what winners do. Winners do that. Losers entertain that other thing. Let's hit the chat because I can
that's what Warner Brothers does.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So how's it going, Vince?
Hi, Vince.
Yeah, how's it going, Droga? Shifting some. Oh, sorry about that, man. We'll try to be better next time. Aaron, how's it going? Aaron also, I posted on Twitter earlier.
Yeah, I saw your self-gratuitous.
Well, yes, that. I mean, come on. This
Obi-Wan, Curran. I mean, what the fuck?
I mean, it's like the Raid, Avatar, Legend of Korra. It's like, I mean, I just can't lose. When I just like whenever my spreading the nerd gospel on this or this or this, it's like,
part of me is going to.
I'm just batting 1,000.
Watch scary movie because I'm watching you break and convert over to a scary movie fan.
The fuck that's gonna happen.
All right, next one. Let's see. We got like 30 chats in there. Sorry, I talked to. That's why we can't.
We will be 150 years past the restoration of the Snyderverse before that happens, and that still won't happen with anything positive from scary movie coming out of my mouth.
Brad, scary movie, Curran. All right, next one.
Can't be. Yeah, I have not seen apparently he tends to be a little bit over the top for my taste.
He's over the top, and like I said, I know some people who've seen it who have a better opinion of me of it than I do. So I can't. It's with each Sony movie, they just leave so much on the table. They have access to everything, and anybody, like I said, another piece of mythical nonsense is that Kevin Feige wouldn't let them do. That's bullshit, because the only reason why you didn't, that they made some of these changes is because times didn't line up. That means they had a different thing in mind. They own the IP. It's the other way around. So they have everything they need to do better. They just did, like I said, I'm going to go into it on Saturday, but there's certain things that they can do, and certain things that they could do that will bring instant credibility to their path going forward, and make what they put out there more cohesive and stronger. You don't have to scrap what they've done. There's things you can do. So
again, you don't have your head up your asses like WB's management does.
Yeah, and don't listen to us. To be honest with you, you listen to fans to a certain extent, but at some point you have to run your business.
Well, here's the thing. Also, I can't understand about the argument of like just give it all back to Marvel. It's like people are saying that at a time when they're also saying that the MCU is like the Titanic, and it's so. You don't like what Sony's doing with Spider-Man IP, so you want to give it back to the company that you now think is also going under.
That won't survive unless Deadpool saves it. Ooh, I mean, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So, next question.
How's it going? Fun?
Hi, fun. The guys.
How's it going, Aaron?
Hi, my favorite serial killer.
It's Madam Webbing time, William.
It's so silly. Next one.
How's it going, Vince?
Hi, Vince. What's going on?
Someone say something so I can remove it.
No, don't remove it. I'm just not gonna highlight it. It's a waste of both of our times. That statement, the one I just said, is a waste. That question is a waste of both of our time. So I'm gonna address it, but the answer's already no. But if you're going to come at me, please, you have 2 days. You have 2 days to come up with something articulate. Please don't come up with the stuff I've seen on Twitter and all these other places. the keyboard warriors. They should just do this. They should just do that. You know what? Like I said, if we were capable of our opinions like that meaning something, we would be on the other side of the glass in Burbank and not here, talking about the guys on the other side of the glass in Burbank. Your opinion means something, but can it be applied to actual real life shit? Gotta ask yourself that question. Next one.
Clint, 2 more nights till the end of the night country.
Oh, man. Dude, I do not know what's going to. This is kind of fun because it's not like wrestling or anything else where I can kind of plot out, okay, this is going to happen as predictable. I kind of think I know what's going to happen, but I've been wrong 50% of the time with this show, and I love the fact that I've been wrong. I've loved this season. I know it's probably going to get mixed reviews from people for whatever reason. In fact, every season but one has. I have loved this season. I think Jodie, depending on what kind of Emmy performances happen throughout the year, she's got to be at least talked about because she's made me believably want to choke her to death. And everybody else in there is I love the story, and like I said, it just reminds me of the best episodes of X-Files. Is what it reminds me of.
Yeah. All right. How's it going, Bradley?
How you doing, Bradley?
And also he's got some thoughts on the whole thing here too with Sony and Spider-Man and Marvel. No matter how much I really don't like a lot of Sony's movies, they'll never give up any of their IPs, especially Spider-Man. And anyone who's saying they should might as well ask Disney to sell the MCU. It'll never happen.
100%. And that's what I want to go into Saturday night with that understanding that I am all for having a conversation with you guys, but let's not waste don't insult my intelligence, and I'm never going to insult yours, but Disney should or Sony should tell no. They're never going to do that. So let's talk about things and improvements that can actually happen and not the jockalopes and the Yeti and the Wendigo and the Easter Bunny type of stuff that people get on Twitter with. That's all I asked. I'm my only request for Saturday night.
Yeah, William's so upset he's stuttering.
No, I'm not even upset, but I know it's coming. I know it's coming on Saturday when we address this, and it's like we're gonna have to cut through that to get to the heart of the conversation.
Well, one notorious, kind of a fellow in the chat has also already made the comment entirely, I'm sure, based out of William saying, "Yeah, we're not bringing it up," so I'll just say it was 4th. Okay,
that's fine. We could talk. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, you got me. When certain things are made for William. When you rip off a guy's nose with your teeth and spit it into the camera, that you're saying, William, come to my movie. William, this is for you. Just like Pooh, Blood, and Honey. They made a movie. It's like they sent like little fairies or aliens into my head and probed my head and said, what does this crazy motherfucker want to see in a movie? And then they made the movie. Crazy shit. And then according to when I was talking to the director and the producer, they said they went back into my head. It got some more crazy shit. With a flaming chainsaw in this movie. Even Leatherface didn't have a flaming. He's known for the chainsaw. I cannot wait for Pooh, Blood, and Honey Part 2. By the way, we'll have another interview. We will have Owl. We will have Owl on Saturday night. And just a rough cut, and then once again, we'll do the edited, nicer version, and we'll put that on standalone. But yeah, we're going to be rolling out these Pooh interviews as much as possible, as many people as they give me, man. Blood and Honey Part 2 in theaters.
Yeah. Oh my God, the raid! Yes, the raid. After it's like it's.
I think he's doing that sarcastically.
Well, I mean, it's like it's. I guess it's Sci-Fi Center Godwin's Law. It always comes back to the raid.
Oh my goodness, the raid, or what was the other one? Scott Adkins. Either the raid or Scott Adkins.
Scott Adkins. Well, of course, Michael J. White also, and Avatar and Korra. So, and these are all topics that I have made staples of Sci-Fi Center. So, and I've gotten people into. So it's like I'm good at my job. It's like.
I was already going to say Netflix got me into Avatar because there are like Legend of Korra.
Yeah,
I don't care about
and they actually had the premiere tonight of like the first.
I saw that, and I'm still wondering where our stuff was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's going to be dropping on the 22nd. So I mean, they better put that up pretty soon.
It's been a week. Been a week ago tonight, basically.
Yeah, but the reactions are pretty positive, so it's like
I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it looks cool. So all right, next one.
Scary movie. Yeah, it made a lot of money, but yeah, guess what? Also, Tiger King shot to the top of the streaming charts at the beginning of the pandemic. It doesn't make it good.
Tiger King was better than the raid. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, William decided to take the evening off, everybody. So I'll be hosting the show, my solo, for the remainder of the evening.
They're gonna want different topics in the raid. Next one.
Actually, Vince has another interesting one here. I want to run an official Sci-Fi Center Discord mainly so people can. I'm already on Discord, so yeah, Wayne wants to do this. Like, I'm definitely up for that.
I'll get with you offline, Vince.
Okay.
I'm all for it. I just I have to have somebody maintain that because I can barely maintain this.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. I'm definitely with you, Ruth or Aaron. Sorry, that happened again.
Wow, again. It's as bad as me going Daredevil and Deadpool, man. It's like, come on, man. We've got to fix ourselves.
No, that only happened once. Sorry, Aaron.
No,
yes,
3 or 4 times.
I'm mutually looking forward to Avatar. In fact, actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up because this is from the Netflix Twitter. There's one or two other.
Don't pull up Zendaya's Metropolis outfit she wore.
No.
Everybody's losing their mind.
No, it's a clip from the. It's a clip from the show. It's a clip from the show they put out, and this is, of course, this is on their Twitter. So I mean, it should be okay.
Probably not.
This is Aaron. You'll recognize this dude as Mr. King Boomy of the city Omashu on Avatar.
Hey,
so here we go.
You get kicked off last night. I'm so proud of you, Brett.
Yeah, again, it's almost like people need to trust me on these things. Okay, here we go.
I know. That's hilarious. What a good product placement there.
Yeah. Was that in any of the footage you saw at the Netflix event?
No, we did not see that.
Yeah. People are gonna dig. If anybody not familiar with Avatar, they're gonna love that character King Boomy, because he's kind of like without going into too much detail, he's kind of he's a king obviously, but he's also kind of got the personality of almost like Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
He looks like Doc Brown from Back.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, with Aaron, I guess Avatar, The Raid, Legend of Korra. It's like I'm a role here, you guys, and I'm gonna wean some of you off a scary movie. Okay, when we get to that stream, it's okay. I'm gonna snap you guys out of this.
You're actually probably gonna convert over. No, I'm not excited about X-Men '97. I hope you guys have fun with that. Oh
yeah, Fun just brought that up. Yeah, I've seen that circulating around too. A lot of people are looking forward to it. So.
You know what? I may give it a look to see if they've updated the tone. If the tone is appropriate, then I may give that a shot, even if I will never, waste another second of my life of its original format in the 90s. If the tone has been adjusted and reflects what X-Men actually is, then I will actually, take a look at this and give it over the time of day. If it's more of a continuation of that, that sanitized shit from that era, then I will dismiss it in hand immediately. So
okay. You like scary movie and watches. So you liked dog shit, but then as it progressed, as it progressed, but you avoided as it progressed to horse manure and then toxic waste and then just raw sewage. It's like
chat. I apologize for Brad. Vince is one of our pillars of our community here, and Brad is letting his angst out on poor Vince.
Sorry, guys. It's like you.
Blame Brad.
You did this to me. You put this in. Yeah. Brad was pointing out race similarities in the movie.
I know, it'd be hilarious. We should do a watch along and all Brad.
Well, now you mention it, you see, it's like because they had the Snyder Cut joke, which the Snyder Cut, Zack Snyder's Justice League is the follow-up to Batman v Superman, which has the Batman fight scene in it, which is directly inspired by the Raid. So there you go.
Barbie, this Ken dance is really. So remember the scene from the Raid. We can play it side by side. Oh my goodness.
Aaron says they can't wait for X-Men '97. They kept the routine. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. And by the way, it's like, again, I'm sorry for that flub, Aaron. It's like I swear, you and Ruth. It's like you guys are not that interchangeable to me. I promise you. It was just some
two women with exotic accents. You just can't tell the difference. That's the
same. There was one up here. I wanted to. Where is this?
When I hear that theme from X-Men the X-Men, the '90s X-Men. It has the same effect on me as a theme song to Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, you gotta be kidding, man.
It's like I know what I'm getting, and I'm like, where's my fucking remote?
I mean, that theme is awesome though.
Okay. And again, I'm gonna give this new shit a chance, and if it's if they've updated it to an actual grown-ups program, then I'm, but if it's just a continuation of that soft shit,
when I prefer Meet the Spartans. Well, here's the thing, also too. Meet the Spartans was directed by Jason Fried, Eric Seltzer, who were two of the writers on Scary Movie. Okay.
So listen, guys. We only have an hour. We can't be diving back into Scary Movie because Brad, somewhere on the doll about Scary Movie. Touch Brad.
Just give me the date for this stream so I can prepare myself.
I haven't decided yet. I want to drag it tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to.
Where are we at though, as far as our charity though? We're thinking we're still at 72.50. Oh, by the way, this Saturday, we will be doing. We'll be doing 300. I actually will be doing a poo interview at the same time. So I'm going to be in two places at once, but I will be in front of a computer, but I will be going back and forth.
So, Dort Knight says, I just got here at the ER with kidneys. Ooh, damn, man. Sorry, I had one of the, when was that? When did I have that? That was like about 13 years ago, something like that. It's like, oh, those aren't fun. I mean, hopefully, I thought
our show is making the pain go by quicker. Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, that's like that. I mean, I thought I was gonna die. I mean, that's what a kidney stone feels like. If anyone's never had it,
I've never had one. Knock on wood, but I've heard
that's the reason too. It's like keep yourself hydrated. Like drink lots of water because that minimizes the it helps minimize the potential for kidney stones.
When we were overseas, kidney stones were big. It was big.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is like when they pop out when you shoot the little bullet out. I mean, it's like it's simultaneously the most painful and most relieving thing you've ever experienced.
Really, dude, that is too much graphic information. Next question, please. Ooh, I gotta eat and drink.
I'll play all 5 movies a year. Pretty brass. You never followed me back. Really? I've never. Well, okay. I'll fix that right now, and then maybe you'll stop.
I'm guilty of that too, guys. I have to get updated on Twitter.
Vince is well. Put your Twitter handle in there, man. And it's like I'll follow you back because I know you plug my Twitter every night as we sign off here. So just put that in the chat. I'll follow you back, man. Oh damn, man, that sucks.
Oh wow,
that sucks.
That sucks, man. We'll get one.
It's fourth. Oh, she's in something fourth there, but yeah. Vince, just link yours to me in the chat. Okay, here it is. Yeah, you just linked it. Okay, I'll go ahead and follow you back, man. And actually, on that note, with now speaking of Twitter, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up too because this was something I shared with William just before we came on. Because this is something I've been talking about, and I think would be awesome. And it's also again add further credence to the fact that when it comes to me as a DC guy, I am not strictly just restore the Snyderverse a guy or resolve the Snyderverse. It's like, oh no, I love Superman and Lois, I love Smallville, I love the Batman, I love Joker, I love the whole multiverse, I love the Flash movie. What else? Other good ones I can.
I'm with you with everything with Smallville. I wish I could basically, like I said, get in the TARDIS and stop that show from ever happening. But
well, anyway, here's a little exchange with Mr. Mark Guggenheim. Of course, everybody kind of knows him as one of the executive producers on all the Arrowverse shows. He was responding to somebody. I'll go ahead and bring up the first comment here. It's it's talking about 100% agree. Just Brandon Routh embodies. He's the greatest Superman. Rather, my dream for him would be to have a 12-episode adaptation of All Star, but for who's come back across 7 Earths. Mark Guggenheim responded, Brandon and I have talked about a sequel series. We have some exciting ideas. And see, this is the thing, because William is was not a fan of Crisis, either the comic book story or the miniseries, but the thing about it, I mean, opinions obviously will vary on that as far as like its impact on DC lore. But I mean, the thing I loved about the Crisis, I think the Crisis miniseries honestly had kind of the inverse effect of what what William said about like what it had on comics. It's like, I mean, at least it felt at the time, because we were in that wonderful period, when the Snyder Cut was being announced and they were emphasizing the multiverse. That they were. They threw. I mean, they put in so much in that blender in Crisis. They they linked to the the Tim Burton Batman universe. They brought back Brandon Routh. They reference Titans, Swamp Thing, so many different shows. They had the Ezra Miller and Grant Gustin Flashes meet each other, and so just all of that was just emphasizing to everybody as a fan base, like, oh, just the sky's the limit, just the possibilities are endless. And Brandon Routh, I really enjoyed his.
The more you say about that, the worse it is, because it was poorly done and it went nowhere.
Yeah, but it went nowhere because he had assholes run the studio. So there you go.
Well, and you're using WB and the 14 viewers as the basis for that. So you're not going to ever have the money and the actual bandwidth to actually make this mean anything. That's the thing. I mean, if you're going to do this, it needs to have been done on all platforms and platforms that people actually see. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, obviously Jim Lee was a pretty integral. Like it was his idea, to have Ezra and Grant, have that, the meeting of the two Flashes. So, and he's always been a big proponent of DC as a multiverse, but. Brandon Routh, I've said repeatedly, he was my favorite character. His Superman on Crisis. I think you said the same, William. It's like you really enjoyed his return on Crisis.
I enjoyed his return on Crisis because, like I said, his last movie was just a bad movie and it wasn't his fault. I enjoyed the Ezra Miller thing in there, but like I said, the more, the fact that it was done on that platform on a WB or a CW show, when, like I said, you were never going to get the ump that you needed to make anything worth it or anything happen, was tragic. It was just,
Well, the thing about it is, with the brand, because again, I don't have. I mean, obviously, I'm not as enamored with Superman Returns as I am Man of Steel, but I don't have. I don't dislike Superman Returns, but again, I think at the time, I mean, the problem.
Yeah.
Well, the problem they kind of ran into was that it was so kind of caught up in just like capturing the original spirit of the Christopher Reeve movies, was that it just felt like Routh was sort of placed into sort of the sandbox of he was having to play Christopher Reeve playing Superman. He wasn't really getting the chance to like make his own mark on it, and I feel like he finally did that when he got to be Superman on Crisis. And that was one of the things, like, coming out of Crisis, I was thinking, like, oh man, this would be so cool. Like, I mean, again, we got Superman and Lois now, we got CSJL coming up, we got all the the Batman on the way, all these different iterations of his characters. I would want to see a follow-up 12 again Max series, or however you would do that, with his Superman, as the he's he was in the vein of the Kingdom Come Superman, but again, it wasn't like a 1-to-1. But again, I would really love to see just the next chapter of his story, even if it's meant to be the concluding chapter. It would still be just great to get that final send off, and like really this would be like the final kind of solo adventure with Routh Superman, where like we really saw I mean, however unintentionally elongated his arc might have been, it would still finally be like, oh, we finally got to the solo adventure with his Superman that really allowed him to really just kind of make the definitive mark on the character, with his portrayal of it.
I was happy with what I got from him, but at no point did I desire more. I was happy that he got a chance to, get a better look of Superman than the, that ill-fated movie that he was in. But I personally have never had any desire for any more of him, and that's nothing against him. It's just, if I'm going to do anything along those routes, I don't need him or that story, and I don't need anything from WB, because I mean, like I said, if I'm going to do a Crisis, which by the way is a bad idea, I'm just going to put that out there. Crisis, I've consistently said,
as a movie,
as a concept, Crisis is fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
That was what Hamada wanted to do, apparently.
That as a concept, and back in 1985, 86, as a concept, it's stupid, and now it's stupid. All right, the Crisis as a concept, I don't care what era you want to put it in. For year 3000, we can go to the year 3000, and Crisis will still be a stupid concept. We can go back in time. We can go forward in time. We can do present. No matter what era, Crisis is a stupid concept with really bad consequences to the continuity of any story that it touches. It's a bad idea. It's like that shitty disco outfit that somebody from the 70s keeps pulling out of their closet and says, "Hey, this looks good, doesn't it? This looks good. The suede and the bell bottoms and the sideburns. This looks put it back in the closet. Put it back. Okay, I'll put it back. That's what Crisis is. Every now and then you forget just how uncool and how dumb it was, and then you're like, ooh, Yeah. Okay.
But again, like going, this isn't like directly Crisis, but again, like just in on its own Elseworlds, HBO Max movie or series, with Route Superman. Again, it's like again that's Elseworlds, that's
What would you
multiverse,
do though?
and
Because
I
like I
mean that's
said,
because that's but that's
anything
what
about
that's
Superman
the exact.
would be. I would just rather use Cavill.
Wait a second.
If I was going to go that further into Ralph's future, I would just rather use Cavill
Are you
instead
talking
of
about doing Kingdom Come?
or any feature of anything like that. I mean, because you got that's a limited tool. You got to be careful how you do that because, like I said, not all these iterations of these characters were good.
But even but going back to that though, it's because I mean that's the thing you've been saying for the longest time is that how many individual like live action iterations can we have of these characters, and we're in the era now where it's like you can if you know what you're doing, you can explain this to the audience where it's like you can have 10 Supermen going at once on their own
10
individual
good
arcs.
ones, 10 good ones with a purpose. I can't. I'm not. This is nothing against Brandon Routh. There is no purpose for another minute of that particular version of Superman. I just don't see any reason why you would extend that particular one. Otherwise you're just doing something. It's trying to make something more out of what he got. He got that send off and a better version of Superman. But I can't see any reason for anything more from that particular version of Superman. There's a lot of Supermen out there, by the way, and that's why I say when we want to do this No Way Home type of thing, I look at the version of Superman and I'm like, I don't want to sit through a movie with all of them. Some of them they don't age well, and the story you would have to write wouldn't be good. I would be okay with a scene. Like I said, I mapped out a scene of where you could have all of those Supermen in there. But as far as a movie, some of these characters had their moment, and be honest with you, it wasn't that good then. Brandon Routh got lucky. He was in a bad movie, but he got redemption from something else, even if it was CW. I mean, I wish it had been on something better, but that he got it. You know what I mean? I don't
fight
see
with the heckling, yeah.
I don't see any cinematic reason to do Brandon Routh again.
Yeah, we have to part ways on that.
That's fine. Like I said, I just don't. Otherwise, like I said, got to remember we don't want the MCU has already done the Clutterverse. I just want. I mean, I don't want to see that for DC because what cinematic reason would you bring Brandon Routh for?
Well, again, it's like they've had talks, so it's like they apparently see a cinema or at least a television reason.
Oh yeah, everybody I'm pretty sure everybody that works on CW wants more work. Of course, I wouldn't. I would be like, okay, let's look at your CW work and see how much more you should be getting.
He was, like I said, he was my favorite character on Crisis. So I do hope we hear some news about this in the near future. So
I agree, he was one of the best things about Crisis, along with that thing. But saying that something so and so was the best thing about Crisis is like saying that that bad meal I got served actually had something edible on the plate. I mean, it just wasn't very good overall. There's nothing from that Crisis. If they were to do a Crisis again, in my opinion, they should use nothing from that. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't want them to do a Crisis again. I want them to just now that they've split off all these different universes and their own parallel realities, like just to do a solo one with him. Just like I would say, it's like finish up the Snyder arc, like solo send off with
so that I can see because we have a cinematic basis for we actually have data that would actually sell. You know what I mean? I mean, even though we have our naysayers that say the Snyderverse was this and that, you literally have more of a foundation to go forward with that, even if it's just another step than you ever would anything from the CW. And adding stuff from that universe would, like I said, would be like, I don't know. You risk clutter, even if it's not a Crisis. It's just like, what was there in either of his appearances is that would justify. Let's put this guy in. That guy would be a draw, coming forward.
Yeah, I didn't dislike Return again. It's like obviously
it was all right
that's my number. Yeah, Man of Steel. That's my number one Superman movie of all time. But again, it's like I think because they were they were really it was kind of like what William said about like the time for like and this maybe speaks to it's like the kind of the miraculous circumstances of how Routh was able to continue in Crisis on Infinite Earths, but it's like the time to really continue the Christopher Reeve franchise really kind of come and gone, and that's what Returns was trying to do by branching off from Superman 2. But it's like, I mean, but it has great elements in it. It's like I love the scene when he's like hovering over Earth and he listens to everything going on, and I love the part too when he flies in and the machine gun blasts off at him, and the guy pulls out the handgun and the bullet just accordions against his eyeball.
Which is insane. But here's the thing, though, and a lot of the comparisons, like I said, like this was, are people either use Crisis or No Way Home. No Way Home has one of those 1 in a million circumstances that just probably only applies to that movie. I mean, it applies to what all the timing, everything applied to No Way Home. I don't think there's a situation that would apply enough to anything that hadn't made it onto the big screen and done so in good measure, or when it comes to DC, because like I said, resources wise and collective wise, there's just some of those people that have played those characters just never made it to that relevancy to the point where, you're talking about, a CW show. And I'm not just doing it to step on the CW. You guys can go look at the ratings and the numbers of CW and look at what a studio would need to sustain, even considering making this. And most of the CW would not meet that standard. That's just math speaking. That's not Williams, shitting on CW, even though it's easy. That's just math. It's just, I just don't see Routh as being, he was in a movie that bombed and a show that a lot of people didn't watch. What is my basis to use him again? You know what I mean? I understand your idea is not bad without merit, but it's like, okay, from the business point of view, I need a draw, and he just wouldn't be it.
Well, the fact that when that Guggenheim says he and Routh are having conversations about it, I mean, doesn't that also speak to the fact that at least on some level internally there is, if they haven't seen yet, okay, there is a business reason to do this, they're at least considering there might be.
Oh, everybody who's ever worked on something is going to remain is going to maintain a connection with the people that they worked with, and they're always going to want more. I would expect no less from them. Now, if you start hearing a James Gunn or a Jim Lee or a David Zaslav in that conversation, now you're talking. But them just talking to each other, I mean, I'm pretty sure they look at it fondly. And of course, they're going to, any director who's ever directed anything should always be pitching themselves to be like, yeah, I want more work. And any actor who's worth his
time, he could also be. I mean, he might not be giving us the full picture. I mean, he could be. I mean, it could be more than just their spitballing ideas amongst themselves.
That would be different.
It could be also we're like actively pitching. I mean, and the same thing with Smallville. Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum want to do a animated continuation, which he had at a convention a while back. Tom actually had a bit of a zinger about that, where he talked about, we want to, and this is, you kind of, follow the news regarding Allison Mack. It's unfortunate what happened with her.
Not available.
Well, that's what Tom. Well, she is now.
She's out, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. But at the time of the convention, she was still in prison. But Tom, he was addressing that and said, "Okay, we would." This is what we want to do. We ideally want to get everybody, get the whole band back together. Then he pauses and he goes, "Might be tough to get Allison."
Yeah, that's so. She wasn't just involved in some shit. She was really involved.
And they could have thrown the book at her. She really
she got like 3 years or some shit.
She could have gotten like 4 life terms.
Yeah, she got lucky. Whoever that lawyer is the Johnny Cochran of this era. But yeah, I would them talking about it like that internally, that would be great. Like I said, now when you start hearing some people in a conversation that can actually make that happen, if those people are happening offline, that's one thing. But I just don't see the marketability in any of that stuff on the level that you would need to justify the money that you would be spending on that. You barely could justify it on. They didn't even justify it on the CW. They never got any money. All that's low budget for the most part, except for Superman and Lois. Everything on that show was relatively low budget. So they couldn't even justify it at the time it was actually running in front of the people that were watching it. How would we take anything from that and say, let's go ahead and elevate this up, to the point where it would actually be something that investors and people would buy in on. I mean, I don't see it. But once again, that doesn't mean it can't happen. I personally, I'm biased because I thought CW was basically a waste of oxygen. Everybody that worked on that did the best job that they could with what they have, but they didn't have much, and that affected what they worked on. So,
yeah. So, well, I guess we'll hopefully we'll get some more context to this. Like we'll wait to see like a Brander out himself.
And the animation thing that he's talking about, you look at right now is not a good time to be having animation conversations.
Yeah, with Warner Brothers. Yeah,
you might want to wait till the next guy comes in.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess.
But if it happens, dude, I will. We'll do little fireworks on here for you. I don't see it ever happening, but if it happens, I wouldn't knock it. I wouldn't oppose it. I just don't see any reason for it to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm curious to see if what Brandon Routh chimes in tomorrow or something. We'll kind of get some more context. But yeah, we'll interesting bit in
or has he? What does he say?
Not that I've seen yet. No. So I guess we'll.
You got a better chance for Smallville than anything else, which I.
We'll hopefully we get some. Again, that's why I want to hear what Brandon himself has to say if he comments on this or not. So but I guess we'll see. Get some more comments
for it. I doubt he would say anything like, "Nah, fuck that." No, he's gonna be, "Yeah, I'll do it." What's he been in lately? Every actor's gonna take the job. I mean,
I'm just like wondering. It's like he might like throw a little nugget out there. It's like, oh yeah,
he comes on to, I've been talking to Dave Z, and I'm like, okay, well now we need to start.
If you drop a bomb like that, then yeah. Which, by the way, if they do, then it's like then it gets even harder to like hide from like, okay, we can't run parallel.
There you go, another rabbit hole. But you know what? His best bet of any of this happening, his best bet is actually James Gunn. It would be actually James Gunn, because James Gunn doesn't necessarily need a business reason to bring this up, even though he's an executive. Saffron would be the guy that would say no, and then Zaslav. But as far as you getting this into the doorway, James Gunn would be your best. The guy who's bringing you Creature Commandos and might bring you Plastic Man and brought you Polka Dot Man. He would probably be your best bet to getting any of this on. But if it's up to the suits and the bean counters, no, I don't see it happening.
And yes, Mighty Rex Superman and Lewis did a good job.
Yes, woo! No, we shouldn't mess with people. I'm the king of typos, so I know you know.
It is, but yeah, it is. I do love the. Of course, we're heading into fourth and final season, which that also we got a new bit of news on that's going to be dropping this fall. Which I mean, which we pretty much were already expecting because it got delayed because of the strikes. So
yeah. By the way, guys, as much as I malign CW, most of it's fun, but I just, like I said, I don't believe in low budget superhero stuff because you really waste a lot of people's time. However, congratulations on all you CW people for getting an ending to your Superman story. And if much of a waste of time I believe that the CW superhero stuff was, personally, my preference, no one can take that from you guys. You are going to get a scripted and proper ending to your Superman story. Say that out loud. With everything we've been through with Superman, and everything we're going to go through with Superman, you guys have the achievement. You guys have the trophy of being the ones that got a beginning, a middle, and an end to your Superman story. Regardless of what I think about CW, congratulations to that, at least.
Multiple, Smallville and Superman, Lois.
Okay. I will edit the Smallville portion out of the replay. Superman. Superman. Not what that was. What was that? Listen, we're going to have to do a deep dive in Smallville because the comic book bleeding geek guy in me finds that show offensive. I mean, how much shit went on in Smallville that didn't happen in Smallville? Everybody in Superman's entire life found a way to be in Smallville. Come on, stop it. But anyway, Superman and Lois, you guys started that show. You guys fell in love with that show. You guys supported that show, and guess what? You are going to get an ending to that show. You are not getting
fight for years for,
yeah. You are not getting cut off. You are not going to have to beg. You are getting an ending to your Superman story. So even if I'm not the biggest fan of all that, I'm a fan of that show. But the whole CW type of thing, for those of you guys, that's their audience, and you got something that we've had to literally form a fucking community to get. So congratulations on that. Yeah. All right, next question.
And again, it was a Superman show I was not expecting to like. So that's
me too. Because it was
cherry on top for me.
Yeah. It was the CW show. I had written it off, but I watched it. I'm like, it has some issues, but not every show is going to have issues. I actually rather enjoyed the and like I said, they gave it money.
Oh yeah, they put up
money.
they especially like God. It's like these. It's they definitely put more resources into the probably not to say
Smallville's been here for 10 years.
not even like any other CW DC show, just maybe any other CW show period. Because it's like I mean some of the stuff they do on that. I mean, it just feels so cinematic.
Yeah, and if you look at Smallville, you could tell the fact that they what Warner Brothers considered real Superman for them, not a fan, for them is what they gave the money to. You look at the budget, and somebody pulled up the budget for Smallville. It's been on every 10 years. And you look at the budget for Superman and Lois, they put their money behind the big red S because that's how important they felt. I wish, like I said, if I could just snap my fingers and take over the CW. Obviously, all those shows are going to get like retconned out. They don't exist. Fuck it, Mitchell Pistol Stick, whatever. Do your thing or whatever. Have the monitor come in there and eat the whole show. That's the only element of Crisis. What CW never happened? Okay, cool. But I told you, I'm gonna actually, like I said, I would buy into the company and put my own millions if I had that kind of money in there and say, hey, we're gonna do these shows and we're gonna do these shows like Game of Thrones budgets because that's what people expect. You can't have people in the comic book movie market that's been around in the Iron Man. Let's just start from Iron Man up. And you treat them to that, and it's the same demographic, and then you wonder why nobody's watching these shows. Until it's just so. But I want a Batman procedural crime drama, a forensic masterpiece on a weekly basis. That is the only acceptable Robin, because like I said, Robin, child endangerment, but he wouldn't be necessarily like John, but he can go places to where old man Bruce can't pit it. He can get information. He can talk to people, that from that demographic. And it would be an hour. It would each episode would be a crime. Yeah, you'd have the Batman elements in there, but he'd be detective. That's one of the coolest things I like about Detective Comics versus all the other comics is the mystery aspect of it. Most of the good writers who have ever written on Detective they talk to cops. They talk to homicide guys. They use these influences on there. They talk to morticians and stuff like that. How many times if you read Detective Comics, he's always at the morgue. He lives at the morgue. He lived at the autopsy. He'll do, he'll have one issue had him, Gotham, coroners were beaming the autopsy to the fucking Batcave. That's a Batman that I have not seen. Now the Batman kind of gives you that, but I mean, and then certain elements of the original, the Burton ones giving you some detective work. But I'm talking about from front to back detective, and I would literally call that. I would call Batman detective. That's what I would call it. And it would have the same type of intensity as True Detective does. I wouldn't be doing all the metaphysical shit. And in that last episode, I hope you guys have watched it. It's bonkers. But that's the kind of intensity that I think you could do on a WB show, because they've done that kind of intensity with Roswell and Jughead, Riverdale. Those shows have a different tone about them that the CW. But I'm talking about gritty. That's what I would do with CW. But once again, you got to give it money, though. You can't cut corners, and you can't give good creators, because none of those people in the CW were shitty creators. But you can only project what you have. If you got $12 an episode, that's what you do. So, but yeah, next one. You sent me off on a rail with your damn Superman stuff.
Send me the detail on there, Vince. Did you want to step in? Oh, you're talking about the Discord idea.
Oh, Discord. Okay, yeah. You know what, Vince? We're gonna walk me through that tomorrow. I'll get with you and we can just go over that. I don't mind having one. I'm pretty sure it's just another way for us to talk, which I think is cool.
Yeah. Let's see. William, how do you feel about DC Identity Crisis?
Potentially much better than it ended up being. I would like to revisit Identity Crisis. That's one of those stories that if I ever took over DC, that's one of those stories I would come back and do something a little bit different with. But it wasn't bad. I'm in the middle about it. I think it's one of those stories that could have been a lot better, but I didn't dislike it.
So okay, what is that? Oh, Clint, you have that. Oh man. Oh, yeah, I feel for you, man.
Clint has some issues, man. We're lucky to still have Clint.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. So sorry to hear that, man. Because again, I've had one. I had symptoms a while back where it's like I suspected I had one, but then it kind of went away. So
I may have had one overseas, to be honest with you, because I did have issues, but I just thought I was suffering in the Middle East heat. There was just so many things to suffer with over there. It was like, oh, geez.
Like I say, when it shoots out, trust me, you'll know.
All right, next one, next question.
Let's see. Oh, we got a lot of Doomsday talk here all of a sudden because Smallville had Doomsday.
Doomsday and Smallville.
No, I love the show, but I will. I love the show, but I will concede that the Doomsday on Smallville was not handled that well.
Yeah, and neither Darkseid, but Doomsday on and I did not approve of Doom. I don't approve of Doomsday being anywhere, but I thought that that show handled him better than anything at that point. And it was because
not a Death of Superman story.
It was not a Death, and it made sense when you look at his origin, when you actually explore beyond that storyline where he comes from and what he is. That lined up, and I loved Krypton. Krypton was actually, well, once again, it was on the Sci-Fi channel.
Yeah.
It's a fucking joke of a channel it's become. And it costs so much money. Once again, you have to commit the money to these shows, and you can't, you have to commit to the budget because Superman, dude, the disappearing cape and all that. Who is this? Oh, it's hold on.
Hey, how's it going, Chappie? How's it going, Chappie? By the way, Scary Movie's a piece of shit. Just reminding you.
Stop it. But yeah, I liked Krypton, but I knew it got a couple seasons, and they actually handled it pretty well. But I love the premise. The Brainiac that they were doing was I loved it. So I would that's another show that I would fold up if I ever took over. I would take that show and I would composite that into a new universe. That's me. I'd do that. My DC universe would be cool, man.
Yeah. I think yes, even Stargirl got an ending. Yeah. I didn't watch Stargirl actually, so I
didn't watch much of it, but I watched the first couple episodes.
Okay, so I think we're pretty well caught. I'm the best part of the streams.
Okay.
Yeah. Was it because is it because of how I get people into things they should be into, or is it because it's like I make my arguments on why they should make X, Y, or Z make sense, or is it because I'm talking sense into all of you Hellions about Scary Movie? Is that it? It's one of those. I think it was supposed to be actually. I think it was initially the idea was going to be like a prequel show, but then they kind of went and did their own thing with it.
Yeah, it was on its own. It was its own thing. It was its own licensed thing from a Universal and Sci-Fi channel.
Yeah, like you can see, they have like similar, like they have those. I call them the flash drive, but it's the little Kryptonian key that they put in. They have a similar version of that.
It was they used the lineage of Man of Steel, but it was never really connected. But it was really good. I love Krypton
because I'm more funny.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm also more funny than Scary Movie. Bang!
I'll take that as an insult. Vince, I'm just kidding.
Well, I think we pretty well covered Shad, and we are an hour in. So I think before we sign off, though, I guess we have our new tradition. We have to pull up one of these musicals. So let me pull up another one at random.
Until we get kicked off, I guess it's okay. I know it's coming.
Well, last night didn't, it seemed to do just fine. So.
We can only, like I said, tempt fate so many times.
I'm not going to tell you guys which one I'm pulling up. I'm just going to let it be a surprise.
While he's dredging up whatever nightmare we have he has for us, please like and subscribe and share the stream.
Yes. Oh, okay. Here's a good one. Yeah, this is a slight tease. This is a Sylvester Stallone classic I grew up with, and no, it's not Rocky. Although Rocky is on there.
Is it Cobra?
No, it's not Cobra. It is. You can get a full screen. It is this puppy right here.
Can I ever let go of letting her go?
No, I have not, Ruth.
Losing my grip and letting her slip and watching her
get that in a minute.
Down to the snow. Can I ever let go of letting her go? can still see her eyes. I would like to revise the ending. It's not gonna happen though. Can I ever let go? You let it go, you didn't try. What kind of jerk would let it die? All you had to do was hold her hand. You're not my friend, you're not a man. I can't forget, I won't forget. Such a winner. What makes you deserve to live? We was all we had a plan, a one-way trip. Next time get a better grip. Can I ever let go? Not letting her go. Now I'm back on the rise, killing all of these guys. One by one, I will pay off the debt that I owe. Can I ever let go of letting her go? You picked the wrong mountain here, cause I'm facing my fear, and I'm using this opportunity to grow. It's just us now, you piece of shit. And I hope that your fall is nice and slow. Can I ever let go of letting her go? Nightmares can't be undreamed. Am I really redeemed? There's nothing a friendship cannot endure. Can I ever let go of letting her go? Here I am back above with the people I love.
Can we please just get down from the mountain?
Yo, can I ever let go of letting her go?
Wow. Perfect way to end it. No, I have not seen it. I don't even know what Knox goes. What is Knox Goes Away?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but yes, I've not seen it myself, so I'll look that up though. Thanks for mentioning that. Yes, cliffhanger, 90s masterpiece. Chris, can we just get down from this mountain? Yes, again. And yes, they both did go on to be in the Guardians movies. I didn't even make that connection.
Let's go take a beginning rock climber on a dangerous cliff like that and have her not properly strapped in when we go across that canyon. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. That's where I'm going to go ahead and leave it. And so I do not know what the schedule will be tomorrow night. I will be on someone's air. I just don't know what. But in the meantime, you know the drill. 988 Suicide Life Sliding Crisis 24/7 call, text, chat. On that note, do not forget this Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be doing 300. I don't know, whatever versions on the easiest streaming platform we can get is what we're going to use. So,
well, there's not an extended cut of that though. So
yeah, I think that's record. So we'll do that, and we'll have more fun. And hopefully, right now we're at 7,250. Hopefully, we can get even further. Hopefully, if we got 8,000, like I said, we are still over 2 months away from the release of Scargiver. So, hopefully, we can get our 10 grand. I think we're gonna do it. I don't think there's any way in hell we don't do it. But you know what? I gotta sound like there's suspense so that we don't get people to stop. All right, guys. Brad, where can I find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Vero. You can find me here there on Facebook. Check out all my writing. Of course, I plug all the time, and find me here on the Sci-Fi Center. I guess being the most, as they point out, it's like I bring the levity to it with all my meltdowns about scary movie because it's not humanly possible to, it shouldn't be, and to be enamored with that, but somehow some of you guys do it, and I can't figure out why. So we're gonna find that out. We're gonna break that down. We do that stream, and I'm gonna snap all you out of this. Okay, so be prepared. You guys are we're gonna have a wake up call.
Wonderful. All right, guys. I will see you somewhere tomorrow.
Later, guys.